Great. And did the harbor plan lead to the Maritime Development Fund that you've been doing, or was that before?
Yeah, it did. One of the things, this is a kind of you mean the one where if you don't have a use within the DPA that conforms, you have to make a donation to the Maritime Use Fund to support the Marine Industrial Zone, or are you talking about the Economic Development Plan?
The Economic Development Plan.
Okay.
I wasn't sure it was under that umbrella.
Yeah, okay. No, that was a separate effort. So we've got a harbor plan that we have in place. And that's like a zoning thing, so that if a business wants to do a certain type of use in a building, it has to conform to the zoning and the requirements in the harbor plan. The Economic Development Plan is basically the substance of what would go in those buildings. What are the businesses? What are the economic engines that can be attracted and grow and prosper in the city? So we initiated a process of putting an economic development plan together. And in that instance, we had an advisory team of citizens. So we pulled in a cross section of citizens, and they really helped guide and shape the work of the consultants that we used to put together the economic development plan. So the economic development plan distilled out basically 3 legs of the Gloucester for the 21st century. So maritime economy, broadly defined, but what is it about our status as a port city that will attract businesses here? We're unique because we're right on the ocean, and we have a wonderful harbor. So what are those attributes? What businesses would come to Gloucester because of those qualities? And it also touches upon the creative economy, because our status as a port city brings a lot of artists, maritime artists and others. I'm being text messages, by the way, so.
Just to point it out, we're still connected.
Exactly. I'm not reading the text messages right now, but I am quite savvy when it comes to text messaging.
And I'm sure as soon as I leave, you will be reading those text
Absolutely.
messages.
I don't text and drive anymore, though, because there's a new law in Massachusetts that
even without the law, that is definitely for the public good. It's hard to put it down, especially if it dings at you. But
yeah. So I didn't do that very often, but you want to kind of read the. So I don't do that anymore, which is nice. I have more peaceful drives now because I'm not all distracted. I can just chill out to the music. But anyway, so maritime economy, which touches upon the creative economy and the artist community. Second leg of the economic development plan is the fishing industry. Gloucester still is the top 10 commercial fishing port in the United States, including up and down the East Coast, the Gulf Coast, and the entire West Coast in Alaska. So we rank as a significant player in the commercial fishing industry, and that needs to be continued as part of our future. And then third is the visitor-based economy. People love coming to Gloucester and spending their vacations, or day trips, weekend trips, week-long vacations. And so how do we foster and grow the visitor-based economy? And by being true to ourselves. We're not going to become another Newport, but we're going to just become more of who we are as Gloucester. People like to come to Gloucester to look at and observe the working waterfront. They want to see fish being landed. They want to see the fishing boats. They want to kind of get that authentic feel for what a working port is all about. So, sometimes there's fear in the community that, we're going to sell our soul and we're going to become condos and hotels on the waterfront, and it's just not going to happen in Gloucester as far as I'm concerned. Because that's not why visitors come here. They come here for other reasons, and knowing what those reasons are and making sure that those resources are available to them is really, really important. And so all of this has been kind of driven through that citizen group to help shape this, and we had tons of public meetings over the economic development plan with different ideas. The consultants talked to dozens and dozens of property owners, business owners across all those segments, and have really come up with a plan that's uniquely Gloucester. And we're in the action plan phases now. How do we implement some of the pieces of the plan? That's the economic development plan. Again, the harbor plan is different because that's a zoning thing. So ideally the two get married together, that you have the footprint of geography and real estate to accommodate the businesses that emerge as a result of your economic development plan.
There's your
Is this-
vision for the city.
Exactly. Oh yeah, and the overall vision of the city is, you know, hanging in the balance there to make sure that you pull that off.
Right, and finding your niche and
Right.
being Gloucester, but being
Exactly.
the best Gloucester.
Exactly.
Okay, well that's so interesting. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me.
Thanks, Melanie. Good luck with your project. And
Thank you.
I hope that anyone who sees this comes to visit us in the great city of Gloucester, Massachusetts.
Great, thank you, Mayor.
Yeah.